we're going to do an activity that involves angles and the angles that we've learned before. This activity is called Tape Angles, and it's going to be very interactive where you're going to move a lot and be in different groups. So let's go over our I can statements. I can use mathematical process standards to examine and understand geometric attributes. I can form generalizations regarding the properties of various geometric figures. I can accurately identify points, lines, line segments, rays, angles, perpendicular lines, and parallel lines within different contexts. And I can measure angles using appropriate tools and techniques. We will be using our rulers for straight edges, and we'll be using our protractors to measure the angles that you will see in this activity. Let's go over some vocabulary that we learned earlier this week. Point in an exact location in a space. Line, a set of points that is endless and in opposite directions. Line segments, a part of a line with two endpoints. Array, a part of a line that has one endpoint and one end that continues through an endpoint. Angle, the space between two connected rays. These are the types of angles that we're going to see today in this activity, and you are going to be able to label and measure. An acute angle is less than 90 degrees. Right angle is 90 degrees. Obtuse is greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. And straight is 180 degrees. These are the type of acute angles that you will see. They will measure up to 45, 75, and 60, which are all less than 90 degrees. Right angles will have this where you can make a box with the right angle. You'll notice those very quickly. And obtuse angles, which are more than 90 degrees, which can be 120 degrees to 150 degrees, but less than 180. And again, straight angles are just straight space that equals 180 degrees. This is the activity that we're going to be doing that involves tapes. You will get with your group and you will go up to the table. We'll all take turns and rotate, and you'll go about and label. We'll have a recording sheet that you can label the angles. They're all numbered 1 through 10, and at that angle, you'll write what kind in the first box, and in the next box you'll measure it and put the degree that you get with your protractor. This next activity will be what the other groups are working on while we're waiting to go to the station, and you will be making straight edges with your name. You're going to be writing your name out with using only straight edges. At the end of this, whenever you have all your letters of your name written out, you'll go back and you use your protractor to go about those angles that we see right here, and we'll measure them and we'll put the degrees that we find. And then lastly, whenever you finish early with that assignment, you are going to see what you can create using these angles that we learned about. So here is an example. This is the bike, but we have an obtuse angle, we have some acute angles, we have more obtuse angles, and we have straight. So this is what you can do. You can draw your picture, leave an explanation of what you use, what angles you use to create this drawing or object. Okay, so now the timer has begun. You'll go to your groups and start working on your assignments. On this one, we're going to find angle 2, and these are all labeled by their numbers. And right here, I have angle 2. So this one is an acute angle, and I noticed that by seeing that it doesn't have a straight edge and is not marked by a box like these are. I've kind of helped you out with those so you can identify those pretty easy. And I will go ahead and write it in my number 2 space on the recording sheet as acute angle. And then I'm going to go back and use my protractor, and I'm going to go ahead and measure this angle and see what it comes out to. So let's just line up the zeros, and this comes out to 20 degrees. Now I'll go back and I'll record 20 degrees, and I will move on to number 3. And we're just going to try to get as far as we can. There are 61 angles, so I know one group is not going to complete all 61 angles, but we're just going to do it until our timer runs out. So now I've found angle 3, and this one, let's go ahead and measure it because I'm still not sure. It still looks too big. So again, let's go ahead and line up that 0, and it comes out less than 90 degrees, so I know it's an acute angle. I'm going to go to my recording sheet, and again, I'm going to write acute angle, and now I'm going to measure it. Let's see. This measures just under 60, but more than 50. With this, we're going to go and estimate it. Since it's closer to 60, we're just going to give an estimate and put 60 degrees. I'm not going to worry about exact measurements because we are not quite there yet. I just want y'all to get the feel of measuring angles, so let's just go with some estimates. Okay, let's go to angle number 4. And it is right here, identified with the tape. This one, I see, again, it is less than 90 degrees. It's not indicated with the box. So I'm going to go to number 4 and write acute angle. Most of these are a lot of acute angles. And now let's go ahead and measure it. Line up that 0. And I know this is upside down, and it's hitting right about 60. So let's go ahead and put 60 degrees. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and skip and find an obtuse angle because I want to go ahead and show you that, how to measure it. So let's go to angle 30. That looks pretty obtuse to me, so let's go to 30. Again, let me measure it just to make sure. Okay, line up. And yep, that's hitting way past 90 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and go find 30. I'm going to put obtuse, since it is more than a 90 degree. And let's see, what's our measurement? And this is measuring, ooh, I have this, okay. Where is it? Let's see. So it's going past 90, I would say about 100, 110. I'm going to go ahead and estimate 110 and write that on the next box, 110. Okay, so my timer went off. Now it's time for the next group to move to this station. And this station is, again, writing our names. We're going to write names with straight edges. So I've just started with the beginning letters of mine. And I'm going to work on the next one, which is going to be a V. Okay, I'm just going to take my ruler. I'm going to line it up and try to make clean lines as best as I can. Again, I'm not expecting perfection. This is more just to get a feel on how we can measure. And I'm going to go ahead and make my V. Okay, so I've used just a few letters that I can fit onto my paper. And I'm going to go ahead and get my protractor. And I'm going to go ahead and find the angles. And I am going to just measure my degrees on here. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and just do this V. And I'm going to line up my protractor. Okay, let's make sure it's at this line right here. Always goes to our point. Okay, and right there. And I am getting just below 60 degrees. And this is where we can kind of try to get the best, the more accurate answer. So right here, it's going to be 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, and I'm going to go ahead and say that is 56 degrees. So I'm going to go back here, right,
56 degrees. And I'm going to go ahead and do this for all my angles. So I have an angle here, here, here. I can even do this one on this side, this one, this one, this one, this one, until I have completed it.